This is your lesson for this week. You are looking at the student instructions that we are familiar with now. So remember, follow the instructions in the video, ensure you listen and complete the task set. Complete all the questions, tables, and listen after listening to instructions. There's a link that's going to be attached after I've finished the video. And remember, you can do this by hand or on the computer. It's absolutely up to you. So we're going to be on lesson 1 here, and this is going to be pretty much the entire task this week, because it's quite it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours work in my opinion. So we're going to be looking here at theme 1.2, market research. So your first task then is to answer these 3 questions as best you can. So what is the purpose of market research? How can effective market research help a business, i.e. if it's done properly? What does the term "a gap in the market" mean? I'm going to pause the video now and give you a bit of time to do that, about 5 minutes. So you should have had a look now at what these questions, or how to go at these questions. We'll start off with the purpose of market research. Well, this is obviously to look at what the needs of customers are. Might also be here to look at who your competition is, which is again a really important point. Once you've done that, you can start to identify what types of products and services you might want to serve in your business. The more information that you can get from market research, from customers, from competitors, the more information you're going to have. The more information, obviously, can lead to better decisions being made. If you make the wrong decision, so for example, if you set your prices too high, people won't come and buy your products. If you set them too low, you may not cover your costs and therefore not make a profit. If you don't know what the customers want, you don't know what products or services to sell. So effective market research is about making the correct decisions based on the information that you've received from your customers or potential customers and your competition. So, as I've just said, a gap in the market then. Again, market research helps identify the gap in the market. It's simply a need or an opportunity that does not currently exist. So it's a product or service that currently does not exist in the market, where you feel customers may potentially want that need, that gap, that product or that service, therefore a gap in the market. So for example, it could be new technology. So a gap in the market could have been an example such as Zoom in the lockdown. That's a good example in terms of identifying a product. I mean, obviously products did exist, but in terms of for social, there was lots of business technology where you could have lots of people on the screen, but Zoom were the first people to identify that gap in the market, and obviously it went huge because obviously there was a need for that product or that service, should I say, because it's a service. So the next point I'd like you to do is I'd like you to identify the different types of market research you have. You've got primary and secondary there. So list as many as you can, and then we'll go through some of the answers. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes to do that. Okay, so here's some of the different types of market research you should have identified. You've got 2 different types here. You've got primary and secondary. Obviously, primary is conducted for the first time. It does not exist. It's new. It's original. Secondary, therefore, is more market research that is already in existence. So it could be as we can see there, internet market reports, government reports, and it's stuff that is already out there. So someone else has already produced that. Starting off with a survey and questionnaire then, these are obviously asking questions. These can be opened or closed questions, and finding out information about what the customers need. Focus groups are groups of small people. We've done this in lesson a little bit. but they're groups of small people coming together to discuss or test a product or service. So someone will ask loads of questions, and you can get the opinions and attitudes of the customers. So this is a really good thing to do in small groups. Sometimes people that do focus groups get paid, so it can be expensive for the business. Observations might include seeing how competitors run. So you could sit outside a business and count how many people walk past the shop, for example. That's a good example of observation. Or you could look at customer behaviors. What they actually buying, what they come into the shops or service the restaurant or whatever it might be, or whatever, what they come in there for, what they're buying. Then you've got the internet. This is secondary research now, so this is already existent. So obviously, the first place most people go is the internet nowadays to find out information. It can be on all sorts of things. If I'm doing research, my own personal market research for buying something, I might compare the price of TVs or car insurance or whatever it may be. So the internet is a good source for businesses as well. They can see what their competitors' websites look like, for example. So market reports are almost existing market research that has been carried out by a company that specializes in this. So this might contain information about trends in current industries. It might contain information about potential growth in the markets. It might contain information about what there is to develop in that market. Because this market reports, the market research has already been carried out on your behalf, they're expensive. Businesses have to pay for them. So they are already there, they're already in existence. Obviously, they can go out of date as well, but they are an expensive way of doing things. Government reports, government reports are carried out all the time. They research into the demographics of the economy. So, how many how many people live in Bolsover, for example. They do lots of different information about the demographics and the economy. So, is it social deprivation, income levels? This is good information to know as a business because it might inform your decision as to what products might be best to actually be available in that local economy. So again, what I want you to do is just explain, if you haven't done so, just go back, pause the video, try and get some advantages and disadvantages. Time consuming could be a disadvantage, but primary resources, you can develop the questions yourself. You can focus specifically on what you want. Focus groups, again, they can be expensive because you might have to pay, but you get valuable information and opinions on your products and services, things that you may not have thought before. Observations, again, very time consuming, but again, can have absolutely great decisions on footfall. If you're thinking about a specific location that you're going to open up and not many people are walking past, it's a great opportunity to maybe not go there if you don't think that you're going to get the footfall. And again, the same for the internet. Expensive. Government reports are a real good advantage because you can get the demographics of the social deprivation or the income levels. So businesses will know exactly the types of products that people may or may not buy in your local area. And the internet obviously speaks for itself. The next thing then is the main task. Obviously, going through these, you would have already answered 3 questions. You would have identified those. You would have explained those in a bit of detail. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to decide on a different market questions that you're going to be producing. So you have decided to open a new Italian restaurant in Bolsover. You've decided to carry out some market research to find out what customers want. In order to do this, you've decided to create a questionnaire and survey. So you want to do some primary research here. Your task. Develop a suitable questionnaire to find out information on the following. So I want you to talk a bit about or find information about the price of the different products that you might sell in that restaurant, what products you're going to sell in that restaurant. So you might want to think about what customers generally want from an Italian, whether or not an Italian restaurant's a good idea, and you might have to add some other products in. So again, the dining experience, how would they expect the actual restaurant to look? would they expect expensive furnitures and fixtures and fittings and all those types of things? What are the customer expectations of the environment? You know, what would they expect waiters, waitresses to look like? How would they expect them to dress? All that type of information. Age range of people that might I want you to get. So I'd ask in a good range of people. Promotion. What promotions do you think there should be? Do you think there should be, I don't know, Tuesdays eat for free if you're a child or something like that? Or, you know, you buy one, get one free with large pizzas on a Wednesday? Or do you have a senior citizens hour? Or do NHS staff get, you know, 50% off? And anything else you can think of. So this questionnaire, I want you to develop and design. You can have open and closed questions. Obviously, the closed questions will take time to analyze. So again, consider that when you're doing the questionnaire. Again, email, or you can do this by hand. You can email. It's entirely up to you guys. So I want you to hand it in over, show my homework or email, or, you know, if you can't do either of those without the internet, you can hand draw this and you can hand it in when you come into school. Thank you very much and good luck.